Hey Void, how you doing? So, a couple days ago, I finished rewatching through The Vision of Escaflowne and gave it a pretty glowing review. Still held up beautifully for me. So, after just watching that, I figured might as well just do the follow up and hit Escaflowne, the movie. Now, this one came out several years later. If I recall, I said Escaflowne came out in '96. This one came out in 2000, so about 4 years later. Now, Escaflowne the movie is a complete reimagining of the story. It pretty much takes the same characters and plops them into a semi-similar situation and goes from there. Now, Escaflowne is a series that kind of kept experimenting in this regards because there's also a manga which pretty much does the same thing, takes the same characters but really changes up the formula. So, the only one I think that really got great acclaim was the series. I know the movie for a while they kept building it up as if it was something similar, but for me, it's okay at best. Now, pretty much all the characters have been redesigned, some more than others. I mean, Hitomi and Van are still quite recognizable, but a bit different. Delandau is the same in any movie. You can't change that guy very much. But Malerna is going from the traditional beauty queen princess to running around in hot pants with her midriff shown and some swords, so her role's a bit different. Alan Shazar went from very very straight knight to flamboyant pirate. So a lot of things are shifted around. Some characters' roles are vastly diminished, like Arya and Neria, the twin cats, which are some primary antagonists, have one quick scene in the background where they're doing a song and dance number. Others, like Jajuka, actually appear right away and have probably more screen time than they did in the main series, so 50-50. But because of this, no one has a chance to really be developed. The movie's only about an hour and a half, so if you don't already know who these characters are, they don't take the time to really tell you. They offhand mention Malerna as a princess. They don't say where she's a princess of. And the world of Gaia is different. Essentially, rather than the mechs that you're seeing everywhere, the Gaimelefs, there's only two that are being unearthed. But we don't know what the world's like. We know the Dragon Clan has been pretty much wiped out, and Vaughn's one of the few people left from it. And his brother Falcon now leads the Black Dragon Clan, who are conquering people to essentially try to wipe out the world to wipe out sadness. I guess. So, we don't really have time to establish what the heck's going on, and that's the problem. Like, all the world building, it's clearly there and done, just not shown to us. Hitomi appears as called the Wing Goddess. We don't know why. We don't know anything about it. And also, she's vaguely suicidal and depressed. So, Hitomi kind of gets a bit of a downgrade. Before, she was a very strong character. Now, she's very one note, and then quickly flips to being in love with Vaughn very fast. I get that in the movie time period, there's only so much time, but really, that flipped. Her and Vaughn are the only characters that really get any kind of development in the movie, and everyone else gets so little screen time. Even Alan is really in the background, despite being one of the three main characters in the series. Barely see the guy. So this movie feels like it was like the last part in like a trilogy of movies where they set up everything already, and this is the payoff. But jumping in right at the climax, you have no idea what's going on. You can kind of pick up from context clues and enjoy it enough, but as a standalone, Escaflowne the movie does kind of flop a bit. It's interesting to see the characters redesigned if you already know them, but if you haven't already seen the series, Escaflowne is not going to win you over from the movie standpoint. I can only give Escaflowne the movie a 4, which is pretty much half of what I gave the series. Like, the animation is good. It's very well done, and it clearly has a bit more of a budget than the series did, but They also introduce her. Like, everyone's character is the same as before, except for one new character named Sora, who her only role is just to hang around folk and sing songs. And that seems to give her some predictions or some psychic abilities. Also, some characters have this weird magic power where they can just shoot concussive blasts from their heads. Vulcan does it, Delandau does it, Vaughn does it, because they got the blood of the dragon, and there's a lot of lore here that is not explained. That's the problem. You don't get time to figure anything out before it's already done. So, yeah. It's worth a curiosity watch, but for the most part, it's pretty passable. Yeah, I think that's really all I got on this one. Stick to the Vision of Escaflowne. It's much better. See you later, Void.